The game was updated, and 2 new heroes have joined the arenas, and things have changed around. That's why I'm going to rank every hero on a tier list, and discuss briefly a few things about each one. Before we start, I just want to remind you that this is based on many factors. The more skills the hero requires to be fully playable at advanced gameplay levels, the higher tier it gets. Let's start with ambushers. The first hero you may think of when you hear ambushers is probably Arnie. He is such a great ambusher. He can be playable at defense and attack, or he can be just a distraction for the other teams. His high mobility stats give him an advantage not only on the other heroes, but also on heroes from the same class. That's why if there is any hero I have to put him in, the highest tier from shotgunners is going to be Arnie. Next, we have Sparkle. Sparkle is amazing, and she is one of my top picks for solo mode. But once she misses her 2 shots or 3 shots, in case you are using her personal set, she becomes almost useless, and you may be in great danger, since she doesn't have much health. But other than that, she is incredibly powerful at close range, which makes her a strong opponent. Moving to Hurricane. Hurricane weapon is useful against full teams, and even in third-party fights. I'm truly enjoying playing Hurricane recently, and if there is anything I have to tell you about this hero is how much great he is within team play. So if you are trying to play alone, then you are going to be an easy target and struggle a lot, as Hurricane doesn't really do well when he is being rushed by other heroes. Then we have Cyclops. He is in the low tier because of his hard use as a hero. Cyclops has a high skill floor and a low skill ceiling. He can't bring value to anyone unless achieving mastery, which is extremely rewarding, but takes too much time on the other side. His scan ability is the greatest piece of utility he can bring to a team, in addition to his talent to reduce enemies' firing range, and that is a map pressure tool. But his lack of movement becomes a big problem. Topping the scouts in the highest tier, we have Raven. Raven is one of those heroes that secretly entered the meta once and has refused to leave ever since. But the real reason why Raven is here, and not other SMG heroes, is mainly because he is just so good on every single map and in every game mode. His talents allow him to make some lethal tactics in battle. The only flaw you can recognize in Raven is that he has very complex shooting mechanics, which can mess up your gameplay. Second, on the scouts list is the most annoying hero in the game, Angel. Some of you might ask why she is in one of the highest tiers even after the new balance changes. Well, she is still effective with or without her shield ability. Angel is not fundamentally strong, but her kits make her powerful at rushing enemies, and to be honest, rushing is a common playstyle between players in Bullet Echo, and Angel is a good choice to counter. Next Angel, we have the Maniac, Freddy. He is one of the strongest picks in the meta right now. You can actually see him almost everywhere, but he's not quite at the level of Raven or Angel. His aggressive movement offers more options, but he's also more vulnerable using them. Overall though, the overwhelming speed at which he can get when being hit makes him insane to be predicted by his enemies and hard to deal with. Then we have Ghost, who's unfortunately down all the way in the lowest tier. Don't get me wrong, Ghost is not a bad hero, but he just wasn't designed for all game modes. And trust me when I say I'm a Ghost main, and I know that Ghost has some really cool abilities, but he can't really be as useful as the other SMG heroes. He can be the decisive shot during a battle and change the battle outcome entirely. But here's the missing idea for you about him: you can't guarantee his actions. Blot is a solid S-tier sniper hero. He is not just generally good, but also amazing at carrying his teammates and providing gaps in the enemy team's defenses. But what truly makes Blot outstanding, in my personal opinion, is one reason. He is a combination of all other sniper characters. I mean, Blot's movement speed and accuracy are almost like Mirage's gameplay mechanics. And most important of all, Blot's damage is similar to the real damage dealer, Kingslayer. Also, let's not forget the fact that his main ability is one of the best abilities in the game. What made me rank Lynx next to Blot is not because she is a broken hero, but because she is truly amazing for tactical gunfights. I mean, first of all, her damage is equal to her slow firing rate, And second, she is pretty easy to be rushed as she misses her shots a lot. That's why I don't believe there's anything wrong with her gameplay mechanics, balance. In fact, she requires a player to be a bit skilled in purpose to know how to use her, and she is powerful when reaching the maximum level of her skills. Next on our list, we have our world fashion class boy, Firefly. Firefly is stronger than he looks, but his abilities are very basic in comparison to other heroes, and he can't easily deal with distractions. His fast firing rate, on the other hand, we can say is pretty much good. It allows him to take well on facing tanks and SMG heroes. But he can't really do much for defense more than supporting his team from the back. But his spot in the meta is just good. And in the same tier next to Firefly, the wonderful Mirage. She is not overpowered anymore nor weak, but we can say that Mirage is an okay spot now in the meta. One thing she is going for her is she is still perfect at what she does best in the battles. And that would be annoying enemies by changing her spot quickly and hitting you from where you won't expect. Because I don't feel like there is a lot that has changed about her speed movements. Now, you may wonder what has pushed me to put the Assassin Slayer in a low tier. Well, unlike any of the other snipers, Slayer lacks defense. I mean, if you don't have a good team to watch your back while you are planning to make your next shot, then don't even think of picking Slayer. You need to be calming a lot more than anyone else on your team, and in all honesty, he would be up in the A tier if he gets some sort of defensive abilities or help. Now for the tanks, I'm going to preface this tank portion of the video by saying that I do not believe there is truly an S-tier tank hero in the current meta. The only one that actually stands out a bit is Dragoon, but he doesn't really deserve more than B-tier. I mean, while Arnie is good for attack and support, Dragoon is good for defense and support, but he is more likely used for support often, which can't make him take care of himself without his team covering him. We can say that Bastion is Dragoon's best friend in the battle. That's why I believe they both deserve to be at the same tier. However, Bastion might be slow, but if we talked about defending the team, he can be a true beast. The trick about Bastion is to abuse his main abilities. When you pop out his shield, for example, use his healing ability to create or buff your armor. So when your shield goes down, you can absorb so much damage until your shield ability is back. Leviathan back to a tier, and for a good reason. He can stop enemies from rushing and close all gaps in the map, which is truly useful against the new maps that are being added now. Leviathan passives are just so good in third-party fights as they can slow enemy movement speed way much, while the spread fire, which can be used as a tool to counter invisible heroes such as Stalker and Ghost. Next, we have Smog. There is not much to say about him, but Smog is up big right now. The only reason why made me rank him very low is due to his wildfire spread. I mean, you can barely see where or what are you shooting at, but still, he can be useful more than other low-tier heroes. Even though Bertha's new balance changes, she still has more room to shine and find her place back in the meta again. Something to note that is positive for her is that her main ability won't get counted as hard anymore, especially on the new maps where density is high. Now, let's talk about the big leagues, and that would be the troopers, or like we call them AR heroes. This is specifically a hard choice for me to decide which trooper hero is the most powerful one, because you can all use them in more ways than you can imagine. Although if there is anyone in the troopers class who is worthy to be the boss, it's going to be Satoshi for his several advantages, and that includes his very good passives and abilities. Levi is one of my best heroes for Battle Royale mode, and that's due to her fast reaction and crazy fire range. The truth why I had to rank her one tier below Satoshi is because she lacks defense like Slayer. Defense or the defender role is really important, at least to me. So if the hero is not capable to protect your team, then I don't think it should be a top tier rank hero. However, Levi's benefits are more than her downsides, and that's a good thing. I guess Stalker is a favorite hero to all of us due to his well-balanced gameplay mechanics, but he is just not as much use as he was at the very beginning of the game. But you can never underestimate Stalker, because he is, and he will be always one of the best heroes of the troopers. Do we really have to talk about this one? I'm sorry, Doc. I hate to say this, but Doc is not one of the best heroes ever, as you could say. But this doesn't mean he is the worst. Belong other heroes. If you don't know how to play him, or you have no idea how to use him, that doesn't necessarily mean he is useless. Because, as I like to say, every hero has his own moments. Finally, we have the newest hero, Tess. I'm just going to be straight with you about this one. You are probably thinking that she deserves the same ranking as Levi since she feels like playing Levi x Raven. Well, that's true, but that would be unfair to Levi. The best part about Tess, though, is her main ability, which is Ball. Lightning can be used for defense, but you just have to be careful using it in the case. Was there another Tess?